Inside mimics a school with exams, but why study if confined? What lies beyond those walls? Mimehime ponders this, curious about the world outside the outside. She only shares this curiosity with Tokyo, seemingly due to their close friendship. It's more complex. When Mimehime thinks of escape, she envisions two helpers, one resembling Tokyo. Confused, Tokyo steps outside. When the principal arrives, Tokyo asks about the world beyond. Surprised, the principal realizes it's time to reveal the truth, as others will soon ask too. She admits there's a world outside, but it's a hellish place ruled by mouse. In this hellish world, life persists. As always, humans adapt and some survivors remain. Maru and Kiruko, two youths wandering this world in search of paradise. They're unsure what it is, but they're seeking paradise nonetheless. They move from house to house, scavenging for food and supplies. Naturally, they also encounter those who didn't survive. And of course, in true post-apocalyptic fashion, they meet thugs who want to rob them and get excited seeing a girl. Kiruko claims to be male, angering the thugs more, but no worries. Kiruko's armed, with a real gun, not the other kind. Because Kiruko's actually female, though we'll discuss that later. A thug notices the gun looks fake. Kiruko goes quiet, telling Maru to run, but don't fret, they're not ordinary kids. They're skilled fighters. Watch them dodge, kick, climb, and strike with impressive agility. And Kiruko, with his toy gun, only toy in name, that fires off a tremendous laser beam. Criminals are overcome and compelled to give them more supplies and directions to paradise. They don't know, but there's a place they refer to as the Paradise of Tomatoes. So Maru and Kiruko start heading there. But their journey was so long that Kiruko can't take it, thus they decide to search for a place to crash for the night, and they stumble upon a residence that belongs to a lady who rents out rooms. In return, they give her money. Although here it doesn't have as much value per se, so they give her some batteries, which are worth millions in today's age. Kiruko inquires about two men possibly arriving at the place. One is named Robin and the name of the other is unknown. All he knows is that he goes by the dock. The lady rummages through her records but finds no one by that name. Anyway, Maru goes off to bathe, as does Kiruko, who was in the process of undressing when she catches a glimpse of herself in the mirror. Proceeds to kiss, but her actions are interrupted by the lady who had come in. Towels, huh? Self-love's fine, but let's not go overboard. After bathing, they prep for a meal. Kiruko spots a shotgun case and a kid's photo. Kiruko asks about the gun. The lady says there's a monster lurking outside. Maru and Kiruko know it's Kazumanos or Jirukos. They know how to handle them and offer to take care of the monster if the lady wants to end her troubles. The lady brushes it off and serves them food instead. It's been ages since they had a good meal, but things get awkward when the lady warns them. In this post-apocalyptic world, desires can be strong. So she cautions that siblings absolutely can't have sexual relations. The mood sours as they process this unexpected warning from their host. Kiruko and Maru blush as Kiruko clarifies they're not siblings. Maru calls her sister affectionately. They're not a couple. Laseno blushes more, misunderstanding the situation. And it's bedtime. Maru falls asleep instantly. Ikiruko feels faint, and in Eseno's room, Kazumano himself appears. After a while, Maru and Ikiruko wake up. It turns out Eseno was prowling the area with a shotgun. Maru and Ikiruko tell him to back off as they know how to kill Kazumanos, who have supersonic invisible whips. Maru quickly figures out how these whips work, so they plan to destroy the wings where the whips come from. Maru distracts it. Ikiruko hides to take the final shot, but Eseno knocks her down and she misses. Ikiruko runs out of bullets. Eseno intervened because the monster is his son, or so he claims, as his son suddenly turned into that thing. Ikiruko empathizes with Eseno and decides not to attack, also because she's out of ammo. Eseno is happy and caresses his son, now a monster, but no trace remains of who was once Yuto, his son. The Eseno is torn apart and devoured by the monster, his own son. Maru wants to kill the monster but can't. She'll face it with her ability to touch and destroy a Kazumano from within. This ability was named the Maru Touch. On the other hand, Ikiruko's skill is precise shooting, so they called it Kiru Lightning. Kiru. After that night, they leave the house. They wonder if the Eseno drugged them to sleep, perhaps to protect his son, or worse, to use them as food. Anyway, they continue their journey, traveling across a lake by boat. Inside the walls, things are also strange, like two girls kissing, or Taka being unusually agile and resilient, like Kuku, who oddly jumps very high, literally looks like the daughter of Tsuyu and Tokoyami. It's uncanny. That's not all. Mimehime seems to have premonitions and knows about Maru, who strangely has the same face as Tokyo. And there's more. Kona has an unusual talent for drawing, creating things never seen before. His artwork is highly valued by others. causing fights and making Tokyo cry when he doesn't get a drawing. It's that intense, it's understandable. They're confined and can't fully grasp their new experiences. This place holds many secrets. Everything's odd, like the rare disease Tarao has. The cameras everywhere are strange, and Shiro suddenly gets a message with a photo of Mimehime bathing. Shiro feels excitement but doesn't understand it. This place may be weird, but it has cutting-edge technology. Itaka, testing climbing robots, falls from at least 10 meters. Despite falling over 10 meters and risking serious injury, the most important thing is to keep kissing. But don't worry, as I said, Taka is very tough. He's unscathed, but Shiro ends up bleeding, excited again from Umehime's hug. Back to our favorite duo who reached the famed tomato paradise, but risking their lives for the tomato paradise was pointless, as it's clearly not what they were searching for, though it's a small town where people look after each other with unique customs. A cozy place to live, but they must continue their quest. Before leaving, the town leader recognizes Kiruko as an ex-racer who went mad after killing her brother. Maru's upset at the mix-up, but seeing the photo, she admits it's identical to Kiruko, yet insists it's not her. The boss picks a weapons man, but Maru spots a seal matching the symbol on Kiruko's weapon. This powerful weapon belonged to Maru's ancient protector, who had a rare disease. Before dying, she gave her weapon to Kiruko to protect Maru and guide him to paradise. No one knows what paradise is, but they're still heading towards it. They ask the chief about the seal in paradise, hoping to learn more about Maru. He's clueless, but they'll sail off in search of more information. Maru tells her to give up and start living life. He wants to live it with his sister because he loves her. Yes, Maru confesses his feelings, and not just that, he goes in for a kiss. Kiruko pushes him away and says thanks. But no, Maru is embarrassed, and Kiruko reveals the truth, and though it sounds strange, it's the truth. Kiruko is a man.
The prophecy is true.
Long ago, in what remained of a city, Formula 1 racing was the main attraction, with bets and all. Of course, some took advantage by selling fake tickets. Haruki, trying to stop them, is cornered but saved by Robin, an honest guy he admires. Their community's star racer is Kiruko, mentored by a man they call Doc. Rumor has it Doc's researching Kazumanos, experimenting on people. Even Robin's investigating what Doc's up to. Haruki's uneasy about his sister always being with Doc. Yes, Haruki is Kiruko's younger brother. All seemed well until Haruki, watching his sister race, spots a Kazumanos on the track. In about 8 minutes, runners will reach that point. You've got 8 minutes to kill that Kazumanos. He attacks with a self-made artifact, but it's not enough. The Kazumanos starts absorbing Haruki. Kiruko, leading the race, arrives and sees the Kazumanos. She warns other runners to report back to base. As she's about to leave, she spots the Kazumanos with its prey, her brother. Kiruko jumps in her car, ramming the Kazumanos at full speed. She's hurt, but it keeps absorbing Haruki. Desperate, Kiruko tries to pull Haruki free. She succeeds, but it's already too late. Anguish grips Kiruko as Haruki, with his fading consciousness, sees his life flash before him, recalling sweet moments with his sister, but instead of fading away, he wakes up. He awakens in a hospital, realizing he's in his sister's body. Haruki panics. Doctors, thinking he's Kiruko, say Doc brought her in, traumatized, now believing she's her brother. Confused, Haruki seeks his family, learning they've all left due to recent events. Worse still, rumors suggest Robin died while investigating forbidden matters. Haruki refuses to believe it, knowing Robin wouldn't die easily. Doc knows everything, Robin's whereabouts, why his sister died. Haruki's mission, find him. So Haruki, or Kiruko, becomes a bounty hunter and bodyguard, eventually guarding Maru. Now he's here, turning him down. Maru's bummed, thinking he won't find another girl he clicks with like her. He forgets Kiruko's a guy, which is why they get along so well. Maru seems to dig femboys, or tomboys in this case. But that's not the issue now. A sea-dwelling Kazumanos has shown up. Back to the quick seductions, they notice the Kazumanos uses moisture to move. Kiruko plans to fight inside the ship, but their laser gun's out of ammo. So Kiruko baits the Kazumanos, leading it deep into the ship's storage areas, where the Kazumanos disintegrates. The reason is that they were transporting marijuana in this warehouse. The weed absorbed all the water from the Kazumanos. leaving it dry and dead. All of this was planned by Kiruko. Maru, with her hacking skills, ends up killing it. The boat owners thank him for his help and give info on where these stamps might come from. Kiruko and Maru arrive at that place, but see no connection to the stamp, or so they think. At least they have a place to rest. Meanwhile, inside the walls, Kona drew a baby in her new sketch. Kuku says it's drawn wrong, as she's seen a real baby and babies don't actually have faces. Before she finishes, a guardian robot interrupts. Tokyo arrives to warn her not to take another drawing. Kuku says it's not needed and finishes, saying she's seen real babies and they have no faces. Kuku insists on showing Tokyo what he saw. He jumps high and reaches a window. Tokyo can't exit but climbs using Tako's robots. Oddly, the cameras everywhere don't show what's happening. It seems like some kind of hack. Everything's strange. Tokyo enters with Kuku. They find a lab with capsules holding babies who are actually small Kasu humans. They don't know this species and assume that's how Kasu human babies look. While observing, an alarm sounds, alerting of an intruder. Lab staff enter the alert zone but not where Tokyo and Kuku are because strangely cameras don't detect them. Tokyo and Kuku manage to escape, but Tokyo leaves a footprint on the wall. Then, the Kasu human baby Tokyo was watching suddenly pronounces his name. And that's not even the weirdest part. The strangest thing is that this whole place seems to be the body of a super machine called Mina. The principal talks to her, asking why she couldn't detect the intruders. Mina replies that if a bacterium enters your body, you wouldn't know where it is, and she's right. Shiro, searching for that fake photo of Mimehime, can't find it for some reason. He can't resist and takes Mimehime to a private spot to ask about the photo. Mimehime has no clue what he's talking about. Shiro seizes the chance to confess his feelings, saying he wants her in his room. You want to kidnap me? No, I want to touch and lick you. You want to eat me? No, I want to get you in the ball. Ah, you want to play soccer. Tokyo overhears all this, getting jealous. They don't grasp love or its feelings yet. Tokyo thinks she's in love with Imejime, or at least that's how she feels. She sadly visits her friend Tarao. Alone, he asks her to come closer for a kiss. Frightened, Tokyo runs away. Kona sees her and goes to keep her company. Kona seems to understand better, explaining love as wanting to touch and be touched by someone special. Tokyo admits Kona is that special person for her and wants him to be her first. Kona says he wants her to be his first too. Sexual tension fills the air. Tokyo feels butterflies, but can't dwell on it as Tarao is reported critically ill. Tokyo rushes to see Tarao, who uses his last strength to warn her to escape this dangerous place. Maru and Kiruko continue their journey. Kiruko's trying to sell a broken music disc that could be valuable if it worked. Meanwhile, Maru's playing an arcade game. Suddenly, some tough guys show up, acting all mean in front of a kid. Just watch what this kid does. Maru tries to apologize but gets attacked. The thugs wanted a fight and got one, but it's more of a beatdown. Kiruko arrives to deliver the final blow. Kiruko's worried about Maru's broken tooth, but he says not to fret. They find a place to rest. Maru shares a bit about his past. He was born the year of the Great Disaster. An orphan, he joined a group led by a guy who'd later be killed in a turf war. That's just how life was back then. Maru ended up joining the killers group, drifting around until he met Mikura, who taught him to hunt Kasumans. Kiruko asks if she taught him the Maru touch skill. She says no, only he can do it, so he must go to that paradise. Kiruko, looking at a map, overhears thugs searching for Maru. He recalls he's just Maru's bodyguard. Once they reach paradise, it'll all be over. As he was thinking and returning to the room, he can't find Maru anywhere and panics. But relax. Maru was in the next room hiding because he was taking a quick nap. Maru asks why she's upset, and Kiruko's tears reveal past wounds still hurt. Maru hugs her for comfort, but Kiruko feels something hard and well. What did you expect? Maru was half aroused. Regarding the Great Disaster, Maru explains life-easing robots existed before but all was lost after. Kiruko wonders if that civilization still exists somewhere. Back at the robot facility, things are calm as Tarao's condition improved. That's good news. The bad news, the scientist spots Tokyo's footprint and suspects her shoes match. The truly awful news is that Tarao dies despite improving. Everyone attends his funeral, after which the body is taken for cremation. This wouldn't be the first time a young person has died. The first death was Asura, Kono's close friend, who inexplicably took her own life, though one can understand why. The director says Asura's mind was too vast for her body, and with all the experiments, it was inevitable. To prevent this, she wants to focus on understanding youth and uncover Tarao's strange illness. Speaking of illness, Tokyo is throwing up in the bathroom. Did he catch the disease or is he just hungover? Back to our duo, Kiruko spotted a place on the map with supposedly 100% pure water. A loud knock startles them, but it's just someone seeking bodyguard services to reach the Immortal Order. They mention a doctor, and hearing this, Kiruko asks if it's the one he's seeking. The guy is clueless, only knows the doc experiments on human bodies. He has a part, now rotten. It was fine when he stored it, but not anymore. The guy ends up crying, having lost a small fortune. Kiruko wants info, so they pay him to spill more about the Immortal Order. With things clearer, the duo now heads that way. Back at the walls, the scientist roughly leads the director. Careful sir, don't give her a heart attack. It's related. When cremating Tarao's body, a strange piece remained. Mao and Kiruko find supposed drinking water, meet Totori. She offers lodging but they decline, just passing through. Totori gets upset, but Kiruko, ever kind, suggests they at least drop off their things. This time, they agree. After leaving their stuff at the hotel, they head to the water source. There, they find an injured man calling for help, warning of a monster nearby. As usual, our Inamita duo, who cling to Kasumanos, try to take it down. Maru uses her touch, but it fails. Turns out it's not a Kasumano, it's an ugly bear. Surprised by this twist, they flee from the bear, eventually reaching the top of a tower. They decide to wait there until the bear leaves, but worry it might stay put, waiting for them. Kiruko recharges her laser, but oops, the battery slips and falls all the way down. Now weaponless, Kiruko asks Maru to retrieve the battery. Maru refuses, so Kiruko makes an offer. If Maru fetches it, she can touch Kiruko's breasts. There's no time to smile as the bear was indeed waiting for them. Maru escapes quickly, leaving them without options. Kiruko plans. Maru, being tough, goes first. She'll follow with Maru ready to catch her. Then Kiruko will distract the bear while Maru escapes. But instead of distracting it, she blows its head off. Maru didn't flee. He couldn't leave his sister behind. It's over and Kiruko teases him about his impulsive behavior. Forget about the impulse. Malo wants his reward. Kiruko gave his word and he must keep it. It's a man's promise. Kiruko starts making excuses, claiming he's as much of a man as Hime is a woman. Totori arrives and tells them such acts are forbidden here. He takes Maru to another room, throws him on the bed, and offers to do it for 8,000 pesos or the laser gun. Maru's nervous, but Totori's bold, making him touch her breasts. Maru uses his touch, going deep. Confused, he calls his sister for help, but Totori persists. Kiruko arrives late. Maru's already in. She asks what's in, but even Maru doesn't know and panics. Kiruko and Maru apologize to Totori, but she says it's her fault. She realizes satisfying people can earn money, so she'll have relations with guys she likes. Everyone wins. She vows to become the hotel king. The next day, Maru and Kiruko set off for the Order of Immortality. But first, Totori tells them the guy they saved, the bear, died. He was the boss here. Totori's sad, but they encourage her to become the new boss, the king of hotels. Back at the walls, Tokyo, while resting, sees a strange silhouette appear and vanish. It's Asura. Asura asks his purpose. Tokyo says nothing as his body is consumed by something unknown, only in a dream. The cameras are watching as always, but Tokyo gets up while appearing to sleep on camera. Tokyo leaves her room, but on camera, she's still in Kona's room, seemingly asleep, but actually with Tokyo. What's the reason for this? As they undress, Tokyo shares her dream. Kona once liked Asura, but says it's different with Tokyo. And then they proceed to, well... Mario and Kiruko arrive at the place, but finding no one and needing money, they put up a sign, "We're Kasumans, hire us." Well, if it says, "We're Kasumans," it sounds like they marry humans. So they change it to "We're Kasuman hunters, hire us." As night falls, some guys spot their ad from afar. They inform their boss, who asks them to bring the duo in. These men seem to be from the Immortal Order. Several approach our duo and invite them for coffee. Kiruko asks directly about the Immortal Order, but these people are actually rebels against that order. The Immortal Order members arrive too late. Kiruko feels disappointed because she wanted to meet the order, but it's fortunate she didn't. As the rebel leader was once a patient of the order, she went in with a headache and came out missing a leg. Actually, it's even more traumatic than that. As a patient, the leader witnessed something traumatic. A patient, literally without a body, was cut into pieces. Each part was connected to a life support machine. Together, these parts formed the whole person. More disturbing, she heard the patient's voice through a speaker, begging to be killed. The leader then escaped and rebelled against the order, deeming their methods unethical. Kiruko asks if it's the doc she knows. The boss says no, that doc is younger. They were called because, as they say, to kill human gas, they need help. The order has a human gas, so they can't attack or do anything. Kiruko overthinks. While bathing, Maru says she's so tense she seems like Haruki, not Kiruko. Kiruko rushes out naked, asking what he means. She's always been Haruki. She leaves upset, and Maru's left with that image of his naked sister. He gets why she's like this. It's past stuff, but something feels off. He'll investigate, though he can't focus fully. Next day at the rebellion, the leader gives an anti-order pep talk. The sub-leader takes the duo to the supposed human gas location. He also tells them the doc in question is named Usami. Inside, they spot a human gas egg. Maru touches it, killing it. Can't be that easy, Kiruko says. Maru spots another egg. Kiruko's surprised. There should be just one. Searching, they find the main gas, seemingly dead but waking up. Kiruko's alarmed as many human gas creatures suddenly appear. Kiruko shoots but misses. It gets worse as tons of these intangible beings emerge. The shot passes through them harmlessly. But Kiruko and Maru are cornered. With no options left, the human gases start devouring Kiruko. Screaming in agony, she desperately calls for Robin to save her. Kiruko can't endure it and passes out. She wakes to Maru's kiss. Actually CPR after her sudden collapse. Turns out the human gas put Kiruko in a trance, causing hallucinations. It was just a bad dream after all. Maru gets jealous that she called for Robin instead of him. Kiruko reminds him they discussed this. He's not judging, just protecting. Maru tried to seize the moment, but it backfired. Suddenly, a suited man with a gun appears. Seeing the dead guy, he asks them to kill someone else. Kiruko asks if he's from the Immortal Order. He doesn't recall that name. Kiruko then asks if he knows Dr. Usami. Turns out he is Dr. Usami. At the protest, a guy throws a stone to surprise the leader. The Order returns the stone, causing the leader to fall and hit her head. Protesters leave angry, seeking revenge despite starting it. Bad news, the blow killed the leader. The sub-leader takes charge and starts a revolution. Meanwhile, inside the facility, Dr. Usami leads our duo to the person he mentioned. En route, he helps people with robotic prostheses. They see Usami as a good guy. They arrive to find a woman who's practically on her deathbed. Usami wants Maru to use his touch on her to end her life. It turns out she has this rare disease. The illness slowly turns you into a Kasumanos. Infected parts must be cut off to stop the spread. You'd think it'd be kinder to end their suffering, right? But if killed, the body still turns into a Kasumanos. So they're kept alive until the very end, despite their state. It's a choice, die human or become a Jiruko. As Harvey Dent said, die a hero or become the villain, or something like that, you get the idea. No choice left, but they ask Hoshio her final wish. Using a tablet, she writes that she wants to see the sky one last time. Usami and others help move her. Usami accidentally pulls a wire, causing Hoshio pain. She types, "It hurts, you idiot." She calls him an idiot via text. At the protest, a peacemaker is killed as the rebellion intensifies. Their goal is to take over the place. Chaos erupts and people start evacuating the building. They manage to position Hoshio to view the sunset one last time. With her final wish granted, Maru ends Hoshio's suffering. As somber silence falls, Kiruko notices a message on the tablet. It's a message for Usami. She thanks him for letting her die as a human. She's grateful he gave her his eye. She thanks him for all he did for her and others. Her final words are a simple "I love you." Usami, carrying the body of his beloved, arrives where the people have already evacuated. He delivers the news of Hoshio's death. Since there's no need to stay, they must abandon what was once their home. Before leaving, Usami wants to bury Hoshio. Mari Kiruko accompanies him just in case. The rebellion has taken over the facilities and now possesses the generators and technology Usami used to help people. Who would have thought the rebellion was the villain of this story? But like all evil, they can't get away with it, not realizing there's still one human alive. Ushio, lost in thought, asks the people if they know Doc or Robin. They do know Robin. He was also Usami's apprentice doctor but left without a word. If they follow Usami, they can find Robin. Maru gets a bit jealous again and more unnecessary explanations follow. The two wait for Usami, who sits holding Hoshio's body, his reason for living. For her, he became a doctor, even if not one by trade. He looks at her one final time and gives her a farewell kiss. Usami grabs his gun and... Kiruko hears gunshots. She and Maru rush upstairs to find two lifeless bodies. Kiruko's upset about losing Robin's meadow answer. Maru cries, feeling he only brings death, unlike Usami and Robin who save lives. He blames himself for the rebellion's takeover and Usami's death. Kiruko tells him it's not true and tries to comfort him. The rebels celebrate their new home, the others seek one. Maru and Kiruko leave to find more answers. Meanwhile, inside the walls, Mimehime is overjoyed after having a dream where someone from school came to save her, but she can't remember who it was because she forgot the dream details. Be cautious of her dreams, they're more like premonitions. Mimehime gazes upward as usual. Shiro arrives and asks why she does it, saying there's nothing there. But that's not entirely true, as there is something that apparently only Mimehime can see. Years ago, Kona and Asura were first-gen students. Asura taught Kona to see beyond his desires. Kona sees a flash of light, then hears a scream. A classmate's leg is suddenly severed. But no worries, Asura heals her instantly. Kona admires Asura greatly. One night, Asura enters her room. The cameras stop recording. Asura came to bid Kona farewell. Confused, Kona's vision reveals Asura's intentions. Asura takes wings, flies high and hangs herself with a rope. Kona runs and leaps to stop her, but it's too late. Kona falls but is caught by telepathy. It's Asura giving a final message. Kona must find someone to love. Kona says she loves Asura, but Asura wants her to experience a different love. She adds that Kona will meet new friends and should continue living. After this incident, new generations came. Kona, the last of his kind, remained depressed and alone, sketching his visions. Then little Tokyo arrived, eager to befriend him and be the first to make him smile in ages. Now they're here together, spending the night. But it's not all rosy. Kona sees that what killed Asura is now coming for Tokyo. The uniform buttons bear the same seal as Kiryu's lightning and Usami's hand markings. As our duo walked to their people's location, a strong earthquake hit. This isn't bad, it's actually good. The rubble makes finding resources easier, so they proceed. The guy's already there, scared they're bandits. Bandit, your mother, they reply, scaring him more. While there, Kiruko asks if he knows Dogo Robin, the seal, or Paradise. He claims to know but wants money. He makes a living telling stories. Kiruko pays. He starts from the very beginning, the origin of the great disaster. There are three main theories, though none are certain. First, an asteroid that destroyed everything. Second, alien invasion. Third, humans aren't from Earth. Or a massive war with nukes, bioweapons, and chaos. But no one knows for sure. That's it. Ranky says more and pays for another story. Now the guy tells about living in walls where women ruled and mistreated others. Men were kept as slaves, with only the handsome ones used for breeding purposes. He was slave 11. One day, a lesbian couple approached him and one of them got pregnant. In this place, female babies are accepted and cared for, while male babies are discarded with the slaves. To save the baby's life, the couple and the man tried to escape but were caught. The man escaped but the couple was killed and their bodies displayed within the walls. That's the whole story. Maru's left wanting more. What happened to the baby? Kiruko says if the baby exists, the 11 mark on the man isn't actually a tattoo. The man, scared, leaves in his car. He just wanted to share stories, true or not. He parked where they were searching, near a building with the mysterious seal. Under the name Takahara Academy, Maru and Kiruko enter and find vacancy info papers. Most striking is the phrase, "Today's world is hell, come to our academy." The opposite. And what's the opposite of hell? Yes, paradise. So now you know where to go. Meanwhile, at the academy, a meeting's about to announce a promotion for new leadership. But that's not the important part. The crucial news putting the academy at risk is that a student, Tokyo, is pregnant. To reach that place, he goes with Yuichi, the guy from the stories, since he has a car and showed up out of nowhere, wanting to take them to where women ruled, seeking revenge. He wanted Kiruko's weapon, as Slave 11's story was true. He has the tattoo and wants to know if the baby's alive, so they'll go with him. After a long journey before arriving, Yuichi conducts an important inspection. Maru gets super pissed and tells him off, not letting anyone touch his wife's chest. "What do you mean, my wife?" Kiruko shouts. Yuichi checked out Kiruko's assets, since women with large chests are really hated here, so much that some women even cut off their breasts to live there. So Kiruko's chest is a major threat in this place. Also, Maru, being a guy, knows what they do to men here, so Yuichi turns Maru into Mara. Kiruko's amazed by Maru's beauty, but also envious. She asks Yuichi who's prettier, and he says Kiruko, since she's a real woman, right? Feeling victorious, Kiruko basks in being called prettier. Kiruko and Mara search for people in the area but find no one. Suddenly, the place starts freezing over. Kiruko saves Maru but starts getting cold herself. It's a Hiruko, a Kazumanos. Maru spots it and Kiruko manages to shoot. A moment later and they'd have frozen to death. More Hirukos appear. They flee, but Kiruko hatches a plan. She takes water in her mouth and seeks the Hiruko. Upon finding it, it launches a freezing attack. Kiruko spits out the water, which freezes into a mini shield. She then approaches with icy determination and blasts it in two. This place is apparently full of Hirukos, and upon returning to the car, where Yuichi waits, recalling fond moments with the two women before the tragedy, Kiruko and Maru inform him that Hirukos took over, but not to lose hope as they might have moved elsewhere. Then, some guys arrive and recognize Yuichi as Slave 11, as they're his former Zelda companions, Slaves 9 and 6. "What's your name?" "Slave 69. What a great name. By the way, Yuichi's son is still alive." It turns out that when Yuichi left, they looked after the boy, but Eves was crying. Fearing he'd wake the women and cause trouble, they tried to calm him when the ice Hiruko arrived. Being awake, they managed to escape. The other's fate is unknown. After a long time, Yuichi finally reunited with his son. Everyone's resting when suddenly the ice attack strikes again. Yuichi gets trapped, but the boss rescues him and the baby. Hiruko takes the baby away to keep it safe. Strangely, even as they move away, the cold persists. For some reason, Hiruko keeps freezing. He can't go on. Maru arrives to take the baby, realizing it's a Hiruko. Maru senses Hirukos, and the ice is coming from the baby. The baby stands up and does something terrible. It's just a baby with powers, nothing strange to them. The next day, Yuichi gratefully gives Kiruko his car to reach their next destination, Takahara Academy. The duo says goodbye proudly, but as they leave, the car stalls, embarrassing Kiruko and Maru. After they're gone, Yuichi takes revenge, killing one of his Zelda companions. When he tried to escape, this guy screamed like crazy about someone escaping. His fault they noticed, his fault the baby's mother's died, his fault he missed his son's life. Free from the past, he drives off with his son to make up for lost time. Meanwhile, at the academy, Tokyo will soon give birth. She doesn't understand pregnancy or motherhood, she just wants to see Kona again. Besides the birth, another event will change history. A new generation of students arrives. Despite being new, the kids get along well with everyone. There's joy, but Tokyo suffers as she gives birth. She shares this pain with Kona, somehow linked, who sees the baby's imminent arrival. The baby was born healthy. Sawadari, the scientist, tells the principal the fighters have finally awakened. These fighters seem to be special forces using the Kiryu beam, a super ray. That's good news, but there's still that strange disease to deal with. Its cause and cure remain unknown. While students risk infection, the principal can't use their bodies. But what about someone who's not a student or minor's child, but born to two students? Someone beyond that reach. Why not transplant the brain into Tokyo's child? The director's been living long by transplanting into young bodies. Sawadari says transplants only work with 15-year-old bodies. But the director's old and can't wait, so she'll patiently wait for the baby to grow. To survive, she'll take the body of the newly promoted director Oshima. That's why she promoted her. Oshima knows nothing. Though Sawadari opposes, the evil director forces her to continue, to keep Takahara Academy and this paradise running. Tokyo's baby must grow up safe and sound at any cost. Our favorite duo, after a road trip, stop to rest but see smoke in the distance. They check the map. It's from a facility they were seeking. They won't go at night as it's dangerous, but they'll be shocked, especially Kiruko, to find Robin there. At the academy, the newcomers are playing, but one girl stands alone. Mimehime approaches the girl, whose name is Oma. She asks why Oma isn't with the others. Oma, crying, says she doesn't want to cause trouble. Mimehime offers tissues and removes Oma's dark glasses. Suddenly, Oma's eyes glow, and strange things grab Mimehime. They hold her, injecting needles. Worse yet, sharp objects appear everywhere. Mimehime screams for help, and in her panic, she experiences several premonitions. Mimejime faints and wakes up in the infirmary uninjured as everything was just a hallucination. Kona is also in the infirmary, feeling unwell because he felt all the pain Tokyo experienced. Mimejime opens up to Kona about Oma's power, which makes you hallucinate your worst fears. She finds it odd though, as she hallucinated needles and sharp objects, but doesn't recall being afraid of or having any traumatic experiences with such things. She also mentions her premonitions as she sees things others can't, even at this very moment. Mimejime focuses and the hallucination fades away. Leaving the infirmary, Mimejime finds Oma waiting to return her handkerchief and apologize. Oma starts crying again. To dry her tears, Mimejime gently removes Oma's glasses. Oma's eyes light up, pulling Mimejime into another hallucination. Mimejime concentrates once more, successfully dispelling the vision. Mimejime comforts Oma, who finally finds a friend in her. Meanwhile, Sawatari discusses an escape plan with Oshima, but he's not ready to act yet. The next day, the academy makes an announcement to all students. They're told to gather at the pool not to swim but for news. Some misheard and wore swimsuits. After a long absence, Tokyo finally rejoins the group. Everyone welcomes her, but that's not the big news. The news is that an exam will be held soon. They don't explain what or why, just that they'll go outside of the outside soon. If unsure where to go, they're told to follow their intuition. This is their duty as Hirukos. They're referred to as Hirukos or Kasumans. Though they don't know it, some students feel uneasy about this strange exam. Sawatari continues caring for the baby they named Tokyo Jr. What a fitting name. And next to Tokyo Jr. is another baby who looks similar. Why? What's the purpose of this suddenly announced test? I don't know, but relax. The exam will start soon. Tokyo's looking for pants as the academy announces exam day. Tokyo asks Mimehime for pants, but sees students ready to go outside. Tokyo notices something odd and wakes up. Yes, it was all just a dream. Not everything though, she only cut her hair again. Anyway, it's the day the exam begins. Tokyo's generation's top students, Mimehime, Shiro, Taka and Anzu, were at a tea party when suddenly, new girls keep staring at the ceiling, repeating danger over and over. No one understands, even academy staff get alerts unexpectedly. The academy is under attack, likely by Takahara or someone else. Later in daylight, Mano and Kiruko visit and find a full-fledged city, complete with merchants and its own currency. To get money, they must register and have their photo taken for the records. Kiruko asks if they know Robin here, and surprisingly, Kiruko, or rather Haruki, gets excited about seeing her childhood hero soon. But he wants to go alone, to face his past by himself. Maru understands and lets her go alone, which she might regret later. Haruki goes to see Robin with all the excitement in the world. The tears are Haruki's, but they fall from Kiruko's eyes. Robin, instead of being happy, at the academy Shiro made sure to protect Inoehime. Everyone's fine. The younger ones stay with Kona, who'll look for Tokyo, while the others check what's happening. As the academy's under attack, the principal, knowing what's up, escapes. Yes, the unhinged woman can walk, and now she's after Tokyo's baby. Speaking of the baby, Sawatari, who was caring for him, can't tell which is which now. Remember, I said there's another one just like Tokyo Jr. So, what now? He'll mark them Andy style to tell them apart, which he should have done from the start. Seems you're not much of a scientist, huh? Haruki finally talks to Robin. He asks about the orphanage and where it went. The orphanage vanished when he returned, so he left and ended up with Dr. Usami. Haruki tells him Usami's partner died. Robin's sad, but well, they reminisce, and Robin suggests he take a relaxing bath. Haruki bathes, happy he's finally with Robin. But Maru's not happy, waiting and worried his sister left unarmed. He goes out for food and two girls offer their services on his way back. Maru's stunned but declines. He wonders what she's doing. After bathing, his clothes are gone. Robin says they're in the room and tells him to enter. With a wicked look, he grabs and ties her up. He says it's interesting how Haruki's mind is in Kiruko's body. He'll make Haruki watch as another man, Kiruko, takes his true love. Who's now Haruki, or Haruki who's now Kiruko? He's confused, unsure of who he is anymore. At the academy, our group exits and encounters a fence, realizing there's a world beyond their enclosed space. Mimihime looks up and feels dizzy. Before she only saw ceilings, but now she's captivated by the vast sky. They decide to cross the fence and discover new things they've never seen before, like insects and birds. Scared, Mimihime says she wants to find Tokyo. Shiro silently accompanies her. Inside, Aoshima visits Sagatari to take Tokyo's baby and return it to its mother, Tokyo. Sagatari doesn't know which baby is Tokyo's, but randomly picks one to appear knowledgeable. Aoshima initiates Project Noah, aimed at caring for the Academy's youth, though its purpose remains unclear. 2 nights after his sister left, Mario decides to check on her, but he's denied entry. Esther even claims she's Robin's girlfriend, suggesting they're rekindling their romance at night. Furious, Mario pushes past them, sneaks in, and evades the guards. Meanwhile, Haruki, tied to a bed, has a flashback of Kiruko. She wonders if Kiruko's mind and body are syncing with hers, possibly replacing Haruki's identity. Confused, she longs for her life before, with Maru. She wants Maru to save her. Maru finds her bound and naked, instantly grasping the situation. Robin enters with breakfast and Maru wants to kill him. Robin flees, Maru pursues. Robin fumbles with a door, cornering himself. Maru dominates him like a puppet. Robin underestimates her, but Maru's serious. She strikes first, then again and again until he can't get up. At the academy, he meets Tokyo to introduce his baby. He reveals the truth. It's her child and Kona is the father. Tokyo now wants to tell Kona. Sagatari offers to take her, but the director arrives. The old woman's relentless, now after the baby. Sagatari tries to stop her, but she orders Mina to take the baby. Mina obeys, and as she's about to grab it, Tokyo flashes back to all her memories, confusion and dreams she's had. Her desire to protect her child triggers red lines emerging from her body, enveloping her. The director, desperate, tries to snatch the baby, but upon touching Tokyo, the red lines latch onto her too. A bright flash engulfs the entire place. Mimihime and Shiro are lost when they reach a river. Mimihime, careless, slips on the edge. Shiro leaps to protect her, getting badly hurt in the fall. Mimihime tends his wound, confused by his actions. Shiro's equally puzzled, unsure of his feelings for her. He can only manage to say he loves her. Mejime, in tears, says nothing. He simply hands her a button from his clothing, the infamous seal mentioned throughout the series. Maru, about to kill Robin, is stopped by Haruki, who begs him not to do it. Maru's rage and helplessness, unable to kill his sister's abuser because she herself asks him not to. He understands her internal struggle, unsure if she should be Haruki or Kiruko. Maru tells her he likes girls, and if he'd met Kiruki, they'd probably just be good friends. If he'd met Kiruko, he's not sure if he'd have fallen in love because he doesn't know her. His point is that his sister, who joined him on this journey, is simply that, his sister. Rael isn't Haruki or Kiruko, but his sister whom he loves. He confesses again. Kiruko ignores him, but he accepts his current situation. She's learned her past wasn't as imagined, so she moves forward, seeking a better future with her closest companion.